Okay, thank you. So I wanted to talk about perfectionism. I wanted to talk about that feeling like you feel like everything's got to be perfect. So go ahead and drop, let's just say a number one. Okay. Just drop a one if you're someone that you feel like you struggle with perfectionism, like everything needs to be perfect, like your house needs to be perfect, your pictures just need to be perfect. Your kids just need to act great all the time and never have tantrums and just never disobey or talk back or anything, right? Like just everything needs to just go according to plan and be perfect all the time. I'm a recovering people pleaser, recovering perfectionist. It took honestly me going to therapy last year to even understand what perfectionism was, and how that language and how I was talking to myself and how I was interpreting situations and things like that were affecting just like my anxiety, my everyday life, and my business and things like that. And so, and even my leadership. And so tonight, like me and Christina are going to talk just about some things that are on our heart and that we feel like are important, because let's face it, running a business and putting yourself out there on social media, it's not for the weak. It takes a lot of perseverance, but it also takes just a lot of mindset work, because you're interacting with a lot of people, and putting yourself out there, whether it's in person or it is on social media, it can be really scary. And those feelings are super, super valid, but just also know that it's a feeling and you can conquer that. Okay. It's things that we've been struggling with for a long time. And I'm telling you, there is something that feels so dang good to just be able to be you and own it and not need anybody else's approval, not need anyone else's approval on, if there's dishes in the sink or not, right? And how great of a mom you are, not need anyone else's approval of how great your house looks or doesn't look, not need anyone else's approval about your outfit or how your hair looks or how your lashes look or how your makeup looks. Like you don't need anyone else's approval because you feel good in here. And what I feel like happens is that when people don't feel good in here, honestly, this is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt, but I feel like why people stop on this business is not because this business doesn't work. It's because they haven't worked in here, right? And so they feel like they're not capable and they feel like they're not worthy, and they haven't worked past those mental blocks. And so of course how can you put yourself out there and talk about a business and talk about products and lead an entire team if you yourself haven't been built up to that level yet? And that's why I feel like if you're a brand promoter, right, if you're a 4K, 12K, I mean, no matter what level you're at, it's always constant work, but take being brand promoter as your goal is to show up as you and be proud of you. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of how you look. Be proud and confident in how you deliver yourself, right? And master that as a brand promoter almost, and then we can get to the paying for groceries, and then we can get to all that paying stuff. Because even if you're paying for groceries, if you're still struggling with perfectionism, what you're going to see is someone else just paid for a getaway for their family, and then you're going to compare and be like, oh, well, my success isn't as good as hers because she just paid for a whole vacation for her family, but I'm only paying for groceries. But once you start to really own yourself and be confident in yourself and be proud of yourself, it doesn't matter. And you can truly praise other people and you can be happy for other people, because her success are not your failures. It's not. Her success does not mean you are failing. Okay. It does not mean that you are failing. I'm telling you, you know how many people are struggling right now. Okay. They're struggling for options. They're struggling with debt. They're struggling with their mindset. Okay. With feeling some kind of positivity. Okay. People need a lot of positivity right now. I'm telling you that right now. I've even been making some shifts in my business because I just feel like when we're going through certain things in our own mindset and our own community, that we're like, you know what, like I want people to know that when they join, like me as a leader, when they join this team, like it's going to be more than just like, all right, like let's get the products out, like let's pay off that debt, like let's go, let's work, don't you want it, don't you want it, don't you want it? Like no, it's because even if you get there and you're still struggling with this, that's why 200Ks walk away. That's why $1 million earners walk away. It's why you see all these people who just earn these crazy bonuses walk away. It's because they were still struggling with this. But you know what? that's what we're going to talk about, is the perfectionism part. And so I am someone that I struggled with so much, like putting my worth and putting like me as a mother on. I could name you a list of things, okay? And if you guys want to, go ahead, and I can kind of graze on the chat, but go ahead with like thinking, when it comes to perfectionism, what is it that you feel like you're struggling with, that you feel like needs to be perfect? Like, do you feel like your social media needs to be perfect? Do you feel like how you look needs to be perfect? Do you feel like your content needs to be perfect? Your conversations need to be perfect? Like, what is it that you feel um that you're kind of getting down on yourself about? Like, like, where you have those moments where you're like, oh, I messed up. Oh my gosh, see, I knew this wasn't for me. I just totally messed up that conversation. That was the worst post. That was the worst live I could have ever done. That live was just so embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Like all of these things, right? That you're saying to yourself: content, conversations, definitely wording, how I look, OCD about the house, social media, content, my house. Definitely wording, my house, my leadership, my conversations, content, a lot of content based. Here's the thing that I'm going to tell you guys real quick right here. The reason why I feel like a lot of us, because I still get in these funks. I've been doing this for 3.5 years. This was my first gig. This was my first business or network marketing that I ever did. And I still struggle with this, that I start to get down about my content, or I get in a content block. And I find that I'm doing that because not only am I struggling with this like perfectionism, but also my perfectionism is telling me like, oh, well, I need to post like her, or I need to have a feed like her because she's a really good enroller, or she's really successful, or whatever the case may be. And so when I'm trying to be like someone else because I think that they're perfect, that's another thing that I struggle with as a perfectionist, is if I don't think I'm perfect, which who's really perfect? I'm not perfect. Like, I will admit it, I am definitely not perfect. But is we put these leaders, or we put these other people on a pedestal like they're perfect, and they're not. They struggle with the same things that we do. They have struggled with it. They still have struggled with it. I mean, how many Zooms and trainings have we done where we've talked about mindset, and they've opened up about their journeys and things that they've struggled with, and all of those things, right? So what's happening is, when you think like your content needs to be like hers because she's so perfect and she's just got it all together and she knows what she's doing, and you keep trying to be like someone else that you're not, and you keep trying to promote in ways that it's not you, that's where you're going to go, this isn't for me. And then you're going to be out because you never found yourself in it. I'm telling you, through this business, I found who I was. And I did. There were times where I lost myself and I thought I needed to be like this person. But then in turn, I found out who Brielle was. I found out that I can own that I'm a more sensitive person, and and sometimes I cry at things. Okay. I own that I'm a very empathic person, okay, and I feel other people's feelings, and I try to be an understanding person. I own that I used to be a judgy McJudgerton, okay, and God gives me humbling sometimes when you judge people and you put other people down and you think, oh well, my kids would act better. And you know what God did is He gave me a second child that it gives me a run for my money, and then He gave me a 4-nager turned 5-nager who thinks he can give me an attitude and growl at me. And then I go, okay, thank you. Okay, I needed the humbling because it was really easy when Caden was just 1 year old and I thought I had everything together. But I don't have everything together. And so the thing of it is it's not about having it all together, and people actually want to see that. See, you think that people want to see perfect. They want to see success. They want to see fast. They want to see cars and all of these things. And honestly, the times, and I'm telling you, I know so many people can probably speak for this, the times where I talk about the real and honest and raw and things that I've struggled with, or hey, look, my house isn't really perfect today, but you know what? Like, telling a whole post about, but I, still was able to work my business, or you're still a great mom. Like, it doesn't have to always be, I feel like, thrive, thrive, thrive. It can still be something that's on your heart that you feel like people need, as far as encouragement, because that tells someone, okay, that's the kind of leader they're going to be. They're going to be a leader that's encouraging, that's motivating, that's wears her heart on her sleeve, that's honest, that knows like everything doesn't need to be perfect all the time. Like I can be myself with that person. And then that's what I also want to kind of bleed into is when it comes to leadership. And I saw a few people said, yeah, perfectionism will kill the hustle. Um, is it'll bleed down into your downline and anyone. I don't care if it's one person, I don't care if it's 600 people that you have under you. It'll bleed into that because you feel like you need to be perfect all the time. So without even realizing it, you start to bleed that perfectionism into your team, that like they need to be on it all the time. And why aren't you showing up? And why aren't you posting? And you weren't on this Zoom or whatever the case may be. And one, you're not their boss, you're not their mom, you're not their like manager that you need to be in charge of. Okay. At the end of the day, it's their business. You're their leader. Okay. You're there to guide them, to give them resources, to give them encouragement, to guide them. Maybe if they're kind of in a mindset and kind of redirect them. Hey, here's a resource. Here's a tool that I use, all of those things. Let me help you with conversations. Let me guide you with, knowledge that you don't know, because guess what? You're not going to know everything. I still don't know everything. I think, gosh, what was it? There was something the other day and I asked and Lindsay told me, oh yeah, you just do this. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Cool. Didn't know that. And I've been doing this for how long? But like, it's always changing. There's always updates to social media or updates to our cloud office or all of these things or things that you never had to use before. But the minute you need to use it, you're like, crap, I don't know what to do. First of all, when did it become a thing that like we have to know everything about everything without even learning how to do that thing? Like you have to learn how to do the thing to know about the thing. But then we go into this business feeling like we need to know everything about Instagram and we need to know everything about Facebook and we need to know everything about conversations and we need to know everything about leading a 4K or 12K and 40K team. Well, how are you going to know how to do it unless you go through it? And you fail and you learn and you grow? Because I'm telling you right now, I tell my girls all the time how I fail forward and how, oh, this was my day, or, oh, this is a lesson I learned, and, oh, all these things, or, oh, I've been dealing with anxiety the past few days, but you know what, this is where I'm going to flip my mindset and what I'm going to pour into and what I've learned from this, right? I don't say like, you know what, I know you guys are dealing with stuff, but if you really want this, then you just need to. Sometimes it's freaking hard and you have to deal with your shizzle and then you can deal with your business, right? That's why businesses have certain hours, right? Any brick and mortar, they're going to have a day off. Okay. Some places they're not open 7 days a week, 24/7. Okay. They have certain time hours. They have certain maybe days off that they have. And you can do that with your business. You can put your phone down and say, these are my hours. I answer messages from this time to this time. And it doesn't mean you're a bad leader if it took you a few hours. Sometimes even my girls, it's like the next morning, because I got a text at like 10:30 at night and it's the next morning and I'm like, hey, fell asleep. I saw you had a question about the DFTs. What's up? Right? Or I even tell them, if you get lost on my messenger and I haven't replied back in like 24 hours, please message me again. I promise I'm not ignoring you. It's just your messenger can just get so crazy sometimes that it's hard to find that. And that's okay. Okay. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. But what was it someone said to me? I've been having a lot of conversations lately about so many things. It was my next door neighbor, and she was struggling with comparing herself because we have a neighbor that she is big on Instagram, and she her thing, and it's her thing, is like design. So she posts a lot of her house and designs that they're doing, and you've probably seen those like Instagram pages of these people's houses, which is amazing, right? And like what she's doing is, instead of like looking at her house and being like, wow, that's so amazing, like all the things that they can do, all the things that her husband does, like all the ideas that they have, and they're spreading to their Instagram, and that she's found her passion and she loves that, and that she's pouring into that and she's helping other people. She took that as, her house always looks perfect, she's always doing stuff at her house, I'm failing because my house isn't always perfect and I'm not always doing projects around my house, so I'm then failing. No, She just has her passion. She just found her thing and she loves it and she's promoting that and she's sticking to that and she's going with that. And that's good for her. And even so, I know that person personally, and there are times she still struggles with things all the time. Like you look at the Instagram feed and then you talk to that person human to human and you realize they're just like you and they still have insecurities and they still have worries and they still have all of these things that they themselves are working through. So no matter what, leader, I'm telling you that when you come into this business and you look at all of these amazing people, and they truly are amazing people, but just know they're amazingly human, imperfect people, and no one expects you to be perfect. And I'm telling you, as a leader, you got to check yourself. Okay. Check yourself. Are you being that person right now that's telling people well, first of all, I'm never going to tell someone how to run their own business. It's your business. Okay. But also remember that people will never forget how you made them feel. People will never forget that. You want to know why customers stay around? Because you know why I'll go to this, oh gosh, what is it? There's a workout class that I love going to. You know why I'll go there, even though being around a group of women and working out caused me like so much anxiety for so long, and I avoided it because I remember how they made me feel. I felt welcomed. I didn't feel judged. I didn't feel put down. It was go at your pace, do what's best for your body, listen to your body, all these things. It wasn't, you keep going, push it. Like, I don't care if your body and whole entire body is shaking and you just want to stop, you keep going, right? It was like, hey, like, this is a no judgment zone. We're just here to like be healthy and work out. So that's how I feel, is like this tribe and this like community that we have, it's like, hey, this is a no judgment zone. If you're literally here to thrive for free and have a community, that's amazing. If you're literally here to pay off that student loan that you have and that's your goal, that's completely fine and that's welcome. There are all different kinds of levels. It doesn't have to be this 6-figure, 10-figure, stay full-time at home family dream in order for you to do this business. Okay. It can be anything that you make it and that you want it to be. So I really want you to know to just look internally. And like I said, even as a leader, if you're like, ooh, maybe I have been a little harsh on my team, that's fine. It's a learning curve. Okay. It doesn't mean like you're a horrible leader and you just need to go away. It just means like you're a learning person. Okay. And you're a growing person. Okay. So if you are someone that, check yourself a little bit. Are you putting your standards and your goals? Lindsay's talked about this before, where she put her goals on her team. And that's why she had struggles with people walking away sometimes and things like that, is because she's like, oh, wait, what do you mean you don't want to quit your job? Come on. Don't you want to quit your job? Don't you want to stay home with your babies? Don't you want to? Sometimes that's not everybody's goal, and that's okay. That's not the what it always has to be. So I guess my biggest takeaway from what I have to say before I pass it to Christina is just know that you don't have to be perfect, that everything doesn't need to be okay. Be okay all the time, happy smiles, all of that, because I'm telling you, a weight will be lifted the minute that you're truly yourself and you're real and you're honest and you're authentic and you truly just do this as something that you love, with products you're passionate about, and you're just talking about it along with your everyday life and other things that you're passionate about and you love. So I'm going to pass it to Christina, and then I'll end it off with you all.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Christina Tammy. I actually get my name, so y'all know who I am. I'm one of your 12K leaders, and I'm so excited. Like, how do you follow that up? Brielle always just spits fire, so I should have actually went first and had her gone second, but it's fine. If you guys, for some reason, can't hear me, I'm in like the furthest from our Wi-Fi, so if I have like Wi-Fi issues, just let me know. But I wanted to kind of tag team with what Brielle was saying about perfectionism and showing up as who you are. You guys, the world needs you, not another me, not another Brielle, not another Linz or Katie or M or anybody else. They need you. And I want to read something before I go and spit some things at you, but I wanted to read this to you. And reading can be hard sometimes for me, so follow along. I hope we get through this. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking to other people so other people won't feel insecure around you. We are meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Y'all, can I just get like, for me, that like I was listening to worship music before this came on. Okay. I was getting in my zone. That's what I do. So that's me, right? So I was listening to worship music. Brielle and I had already talked about what we wanted to talk about. And all of a sudden, something prompted me to look in the corner behind something. This was sitting behind something else. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to read this because this is exactly what Brielle and I were talking about, right? We're talking about how you need to show up as who you are. And the thing is that when you're on social media and you're having conversations and you're following people and all of that, you're gravitating and talking to people as the way you are, right? I gravitate towards things that I like. So if I'm trying to be somebody else, but I'm on my social media sharing and gravitating towards other people, but yeah, here I am trying to be somebody else through my pictures or through my feed and all of that, there's going to always be a disconnect there, right? So showing up as who you are is so important, you guys. This is something that I wanted to say too, to kind of tag with the perfectionism. I heard this one time, and when I heard it, it was like a slap in the face, and it was perfectionism is a form of procrastination. Oof, right? I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be a procrastinator. I am a procrastinator. I can procrastinate like it's my freaking job, right? And I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. And I was just talking to somebody today and I said, I don't want that to be who I am. I don't want to be a procrastinator. Like if something needs to get done, I just want to go get it done. Because guess what takes more time? Procrastinating, right? It would take less time to go do whatever that is that we need to do. So procrastination, you guys, is literally, or perfectionism is a form of procrastination. And when I heard that a long time ago, I dropped perfectionism because I was like, well, I don't want to be that. I don't want that. I also don't want to be perfect because I don't know about you guys, but that is a hard thing to try to live up to. And I got a lot of things every single day that I try to do better at. I don't want to try to live up to something that is impossible. So with that being said, show up on your social media as who you are. This is something Brielle and I we're talking about today. English is hard for me too, y'all. So I'm not going to try to show up here and pretend like English is good for me. I'm also not going to go on my post and pretend like I know where commas and all that crap goes. I don't. Sometimes I can put so many commas. I'm pretty sure an English teacher is over there like, and then sometimes I put no commas and I'm pretty sure everybody's like, okay, she's just running on sentences. That's who I am though. So guess what? I am going to talk to you who I am. I'm not going to try to be perfect with my English because I never will be. I'm never going to correct you on the English part either because I don't know if you're right or wrong. So that's just not who I am. But if you love makeup, go wear makeup and be that person on your social media. If you love to get dressed up and go sit on your couch, go get dressed up and sit on your couch. If you like to never wear anything cute but you like your leggings because that makes you feel sexy and you like whatever and you feel good in that, go do that. If you don't like to wear makeup, don't wear makeup. If you're not into lashes, don't run and get your lashes done just because somebody else who's a little bit maybe further along in their journey is rocking lashes, but you don't even want to wear lashes. I used to go get my nails done, you guys. I'm going to be real with you. I used to go get my nails done all the time. And every time I went, it was anxiety. I had anxiety over picking a color. I had anxiety while I was there. And I don't like getting my nails done. I'm just going to be real with you. Yes, sometimes like I'm a girly girl to like the max, but I would always pick them apart. I was a perfectionist and then I hated the color and then I didn't like the color. And I realized it was because that didn't really do anything for me. I was just doing it because I thought, okay, this is what I have to do. So now when I want to go get my nails done, I go get my nails done. If I don't want to go get my nails done, I don't go get my nails done. I haven't colored my hair in over a year. Why? Because I just don't want to. I don't mind my gray hair. Makes me happy, right? So for me, I started to embrace who I was. So when I come onto my social media, I flow with my social media. When I am on there, when I am taking pictures, when I'm creating content, when I'm in my stories, you guys, it is natural for me because I am just being me. And if something doesn't align with me, like if I start to feel like, oof, I'm not liking how this feels. Okay, I'm starting to do this or whatever, and I'm not feeling this. I'm like, okay, Christina, step back. What don't you like about it? How can you change this to make this more who you are? And I do that. So when I'm on work with me's, when I'm on Zooms and all that, and somebody's like, oh yeah, I do this. I'm like, okay, I like that. How can I make that me? How can I make whatever she just said? How can I take that as a foundation, lay it, but make it Christina's version? So this way I am always in flow with my business, you guys. And if you are going into your everyday, like, I don't know what to talk about, I don't know, I feel like I'm stuck, it's because you're probably trying to be somebody that you're not. So you won't be able to put out a post, honestly, because you're not going to find the words. Go be who you are and own your story, right? If you don't have a struggle story, don't try to make up a struggle story, right? That was one thing I heard Hasty say on a Zoom that she did, and I love that. She was saying she didn't have that kind of story. She grew up having a lot of things that, she had a very blessed life and all that kind of stuff. So when she started to own her why she was here, guess what, y'all? She's about to go 40K because she owned who she was, right? My story is different than Brielle's. Brielle's is different than yours. We all have our own stories. And the minute you hide that is the minute you are not going to be able to change somebody's life that is waiting for your story to make an impact. Your story, somebody is on the other end of that screen waiting to hear your story. So you need to go out there and you need to share your story, your why. Stop trying to be perfect, right? Like a lot of times I get this because my house is very clean looking. It's not clean, y'all. Like for real. I can't even tell you the last time I washed the floors. It is not clean looking, but aesthetically, it does look very put together. But guess what? That makes me happy. So I'm not going to try to hide that because maybe somebody else is like, go be a hot mess express and all that. But guess what? Order makes me kind of happy. So if you like order, go have order and show somebody else, hey, I'm a hot mess express. I didn't shower today, but guess what? The pillows are straight on the couch because that makes me happy. Y'all, I like when the blankets are in the bin. Do you think I fold the blankets in the bin? No. But as long as the blankets are in the bin, I'm happy, right? So that's every time you'll see pictures, my blankets are a hot mess express in the bin, where like my sister has to have them perfectly folded and they have to be in the bin. Do you guys see what I'm saying? I'm not going to try to go and fold my blankets to make my house look even prettier. I don't care. That's just who I am. I like things to be how I like things to be. You like things how you like things to be. Don't try to be somebody else, especially as we watch other leaders or more successful leaders or anything like that. Don't go try to be who they are just because you think that's the way to success. They are there because they are who they are and they owned their story. So the moment you own your story is the moment you unlock your own success, y'all. So that is the moment you unlock your own success. Sorry, I've got some text coming through and it's distracting me. So, okay, I brought notes too. Get out of your own head, y'all. And I say that with so much love. The minute I get in my head, I'm very blessed that somebody will call me out. Normally it's Lindsay, because somehow I end up on a one-on-one around the same time as I'm in my head. And she's like, what are you doing? She had to do that to me the other day. And I was like, I know. And she was like, stop it right now. So yes, guys, I am just like you. I can get in my head too, but I try to get out as quick as I'm in, right? I don't stay there because I don't like that feeling either. So if you are in a place within your business where you're just feeling like, ooh, I'm just feeling it, change it. You have the power to change it. You have the power to show up differently. So how do you want to show up? What's going to change that for you? So I don't know if any of this is making sense. I hope so, but I just kind of come here and flow with things. So another thing I wanted to say, you guys, is that you are your own runner. You are your own runner, right? Stop trying to sit there and be able to enroll your next runner, or, oh, I need to enroll more. I need to enroll that next person that's going to help me get to here, there, or wherever. Go and be that person. Go and show people what is possible, y'all, and share who you are. I love how Brielle just said about perfectionism, you guys, because it literally will kill your business if that is how you try to, if that is a place where you try to stay. Guess what's messy? Going and doing your IPAs every single day and learning how to get into a routine. Y'all, did you know that when I started doing the planning Zooms, and still to this day, I'm still figuring out how to plan? Every day I show up or every Sunday I show up every week and I guide you guys, and I'm learning every single week. I fail forward every single week when it comes to planning. But guess what? I just show up, because I know along the way, I'm going to learn what I need to learn, and I'm going to become the best version of myself as I do that. I'm going to be the best leader and become the best leader as I fail forward. If I tried to be perfect and didn't start until I felt like things were perfect, guess what, y'all? I probably would have never hit the promoter button. I'd still probably be waiting for things to be perfect. So if you are waiting for things to be perfect, like, oh, well, until I get an office, I can't go 12K, or until I have a better phone, I can't do this, or until this, I can't do that. Do you guys know I have the newest phone? Mine ended up crashing and I preferred my old phone. It does not matter whether you have the newest gadget or whatever it is or whatnot. You don't need any of that. You don't need to have those things perfect. You don't even need a planner. Do you guys know that I plan out my week, but a lot of times I live in a notebook every single day? I literally just live throughout a notebook. It's not perfect. It's messy. I scratch things out. Do you guys see my notes? They're on note cards. And like, I have notes on the side. I have arrows so that I know which way to go. And I can't even still read my notes. But guess what? I'm here and I'm showing up, right? These types of things, doing this scares me, right? Doing these Zooms and all of that, leading with you guys. I've been here for 3 years. I was on the very first Zoom that Lindsay hosted, right? You guys all know that. I was in the very first IPA chat that Lindsay ever did. And guess what, you guys? This still makes me nervous. When I go live in the Limitless page, I am better live than I am on a Zoom for some reason. I don't know why. When I am live, it's like so much, it's because I feel like I'm just talking to myself. Here, it's like, I really know y'all are here. So when I'm live, I'm like, pretend like I'm just talking to myself, and she's a good time. But anyways, so you guys, it's scary, but guess what? Just do it. Get over yourself and do it. Do the first reel. I did a reel that was supposed to be of a before and after. I copied and pasted my before picture in, and then I come sliding in. I was like sliding in all cool, like, oh, this is my after. Do you guys know I posted it and the before picture never showed up? I could have easily taken that down. I could have been like, it's not perfect. Guess what? I just left it. I was like, I don't care. You know what? I learned now that I can't do the reel that way, and I need to do it a little bit differently, but I left it. I had a reel not that long ago that the text didn't show up the right way, and I was going to go and change it, but I was like, this is the reel that I had. I posted it. I was doing some other stuff, and I was like, you know what? It's fine. It got a ton of views. I had people in my inbox and it had half the words. Do you guys see how when you're not perfect, people will see that and realize, oh, hey, I can do that too. The more you try to be perfect and have everything look great and have all the words and make sure that things are spelled right and all that kind of stuff, do you know that people on the other end are going to be like, oh, she's so perfect, I can't do it. But when you show up messy, they're also like, oh, I can do that too. And what I mean by messy is just going and being you, being on face to face and saying whatever you need to say. And if you flub up, you flub up, right? Like just going and being exactly who you are. So the world needs more of you. Okay. I already said that. Own your story, not anybody else's, y'all. Your story is more powerful than you even know. And that is one thing that I am teaching and learning my own self, is to get deeper within my story and to share more of my story and not be embarrassed by my story. Y'all, don't be embarrassed by your situation or your story. And that is something that I am learning, because there are a lot of people on social media that see things, right? Like I have a lot of family that sees things, friends that see things that might not know who I like know that part of me. But the more I hold that back, the less I can impact others. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to hold back an impact. Because if my time here on earth is however long, I want to make an impact while I'm here. Whether it's one person, 5 people, 10 people, I want to be authentic to who I am. I want to share my story, and I hope that my story can possibly change somebody else's life. That's why we're all here, right? We're all here to change somebody's life with these products, with the business. But you can't do that if you are constantly hiding who you are, because they need to hear you. They need to hear your story. And I hope I'm staying on topic, Brielle, because I apologize. I'm tag teaming off of you. So I know you'll end it with a bang. But you guys, the last thing I wanted to say too, yes, show up. Thank you. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Words are tricky. Yeah. Words are tricky in regular life and on reels. So I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest with you. Okay, you guys. So the last thing I wanted to say too is, what does your runner look like within your business? What does your runner look like? Do they show up? They show up on the Zooms. They're positive. They're coachable. They're willing to learn. They want to just serve others. They're excited. They share about the products, right? What are all those things that you would say or deem in a runner or somebody that you want on your team? The qualities, let's not even call them a runner, because honestly, I want anybody who wants this for their business. And when I say runner, to me, like Brielle said, they could be running to thrive for free. They could be running to pay for groceries. They could be running to pay off their mortgage. Running can be defined any way possible. To me, running isn't just 6-figure, multimillionaire, whatever. It's running for whatever your dreams, your goal, and your why is. And the reason why I want you to think about those things was because I sat down with myself, I think it was like a few weeks back, and I thought about those things. And then guess what, you guys? I started to show up as all of those, right? Exactly. You are your own runner, y'all. You are your own runner. So whether you have a team of 1, whether you have a team of you, right? That's 1. You are your own runner, but who do you want to attract? Who do you want on your team? And go be that person. Go show that person what's possible. Right? Yes, I love that. I want somebody that's coachable. So go be unapologetically you. Go be unapologetically you. That's a tongue twister right there. Go make an impact. Go serve others by being exactly who you are. Yes, talk to that person in your posts and content. I love that, Rochelle. And I know Rochelle did, sorry, this is totally off topic. That's what happens with me, you guys. I apologize. Rochelle did a training. It was a long time ago. I don't remember when it was, but she said to list out all of the problems that somebody could have, that you maybe had before these products, before this business. And then what was the solution, or what are the solutions that you have? That's another way to post, you guys. We have solutions. This is a little off topic, but we have solutions for everybody, for everything, for the mom who's struggling with energy, to the babe who wants to help her husband with the financial part, to the single girl who wants to be able to rock the newest fashion because that's what she likes. She's living her best single life. To the college babe who doesn't want to have a job so she can focus on her studies. To somebody who just wants to be healthier. Do you guys see? We have stuff for everybody. So I just want to kind of close this, and then I know Brielle is going to take over. And I hope this made sense, you guys, because it's so hard to talk about something like this because we all can struggle with it in our own way. And the hardest thing is getting out of our way, right? The hardest thing is getting out of your own way. But guess what, y'all? Just start. Like tonight, when you get off of this call, just start being you, the best version of you, right? I know for me, I just show up as the best leader I can show up as. I grow to be the best leader that I can be. So I'm listening to audibles, I'm reading books, and I'm implementing it the best that I can. And that is good enough for me. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just showing up as the best version of myself that I can, not only in my business, in my marriage, in my friendships, in my family, in my home, with my laundry, everything. I'm just trying to show up as the best I can. And that's it. And that's enough for me. Doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the best that I can. And that's enough. So take it away, Brielle.
I just love you. You're like, I think I'm rambling. Da, da, da. You're doing great. Okay. I know that helped someone right now who is feeling just very down or comparing themselves or feeling like their story doesn't matter. And I really truly hope that like someone right now is like, I just needed that like reminder. Like I knew that, I've heard the other Zooms, but like I just really needed that reassurance. I did find these I went on Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I don't know, it's just me, but I love Pinterest. I think there's some really good quotes and like just little things that can kind of connect with things. And something I like went on there and I searched perfectionism. And there was this quote on there and it said, perfectionism doesn't make you feel perfect. It makes you feel inadequate. Perfectionism doesn't make you feel perfect. It makes you feel inadequate, because perfect literally doesn't exist. So all you're constantly doing by feeling like everything needs to be together all the time, you need to be enrolling all the time, you just need to be showing up all the time, and you need to be oh my gosh, I missed a day of post yesterday, I'm such a failure, and now everything's not perfect and my algorithm's off, and like all the stuff that everything needs to be together all the time. You are constantly making yourself inadequate. Okay. And that's not truth. That's coming from a lie you've been told, some Karen in middle school who said something to you that's just been on your heart, and you're still like, see her at the reunions and you're like, I remember what you said at the lunch table. You know what I mean? Like you hold on to it. And what I thought was so good too is I watched a lot of motivational videos on YouTube. That's really my jam. I did that actually before. I love all kinds of things. It depends on my day. Sometimes I need like something spiritual and like, yes, Jesus or whatever. But then sometimes I'm like, I need someone to tell me to like, you keep going. And then sometimes I need something that's like, you're amazing and wonderful. Like it just depends on my day, like I just need different, I need kind of hard stuff sometimes and I need more soft stuff sometimes. And so there was this guy, and analogy stuff, because you guys know I'm always going to bring an analogy. And this I think it was a teacher. Okay, and I love this because I feel like mental health so needs to be taught in schools more, but that's just my opinion. But it was a teacher and he was holding, hey, I have a cup. He was holding a glass of water and he's like, how heavy do you think this is? Like, how many ounces? And they're like, maybe 6 ounces, maybe 8 ounces. He's like, okay, that's like not super heavy, right? He's like, so if I hold on to it for like maybe about a minute, it won't be that heavy. He's like, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it's gonna get. If I hung on to it for another 10 minutes, it's going to feel a little bit heavier. If I hung on to it for an hour, it's going to feel pretty heavy over time. And like, he's just like holding it like this. And he's like, if I keep holding on to it, it's going to feel heavier and heavier because I keep holding on to it instead of letting myself rest and to let it go and to put it down. And you just keep holding on to it. And he's like, that's what you're doing when you're holding on to words that were said to you, or really a lot of times for me, it's just something that was said to me or said about me that I found out about, or whatever the case may be, or a negative comment, or even just things I'm saying to myself. No one's even saying them right now, but for whatever reason, I'm my own worst enemy, right? And sometimes thoughts just creep into my head and I hold on to them and I just allow them to sit and fester and wonder, and it just gets heavy and heavy and heavy. And the more you do that, you're eventually, it's just gonna be too much, right? It's gonna be too much and you can't hang on to that for so much longer. So I want you guys tonight to just really like release and identify what it is that is like holding you back. And a lot of times it is that perfectionism. A lot of times it is that comparison. A lot of times because you feel like, oh, I've been in this for 4 months, I should be X rank by now. Oh, I've been in this for 2 years, I should be making this kind of money right now. I've been in this for 3 years, I should be making this kind of money right now. Okay. If y'all know my story, you know it wasn't a quick thing. Okay. It was 17 months until I hit 12K. And then I think after that it was, I don't know, let's see, I don't know, from October to April, however many months that is, from October to May the next year, what, 8, 9 months, before I hit the 40K. But guess what? After I hit 40K, I allowed so many people's opinions about me. I allowed so many people that judged me and put me down and talked about me and said all these things about me to drag me down, because I held on to it for so long that I allowed it to hold me back from so many things. And I lost that rank. I lost it. Just like it came, I lost that 40K, and it took me a hot minute to get it back up, right? Because I kept holding on to that. Think of if you're trying to climb some type of mountain and you're carrying a backpack and you have like, I don't know, 50 rocks in your backpack. It's going to be really, really hard to climb that mountain compared to someone who's maybe carrying a backpack with like one rock in it, or someone who has no backpack on and they're just living their best life, owning who they are and doing the dang thing and climbing that mountain, right? It's going to be a lot of a quote unquote easier journey mentally and physically for them, because they've let go of that burden. They've let go of that weight that's holding them back. So it's not that this can't be successful for you. It's not that this can't, we've seen it. We have leadership that shows us that you can make this whatever you want it to be. But what it is that you're holding on to things that are literally weighing you down. Even if it's not physically, it's mentally weighing you down. And trust me, I'm a spokesperson for mental health. It's something I'm very passionate about, and it's something that I like to talk about or go live about or do IGTVs about, or all of those things. It's my passion. It's something I really love. And it's because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like. And it's not like I started this business and all my worries went away. It's constantly a thing. I've had huge anxiety this past week. Okay. But what's helped is that through self-development and through just owning who I am and being vulnerable and knowing that by me going through it, but me being honest about it, it can help other people, right? Just like you talking about, you know what, like I'm telling you, this mood support is like literally saving me this week. It is literally saving me. And there are so many people that have been like, okay, wait, mood support, because like, yes, okay, what is that you have, or this chill or whatever it is. So you never know that one person that might need that encouragement that day. That's just like you got on this Zoom, right? And maybe you were reluctant. Maybe you were like, like I could just like get on Netflix and like, do you guys watch The Circle on Netflix? The new season's out, just so you know. But I don't know if anyone watches The Circle. It's very interesting. But you know, you like go on Netflix and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna watch this new show. I'm gonna watch my show instead of hop on the Zoom. But for whatever reason, you decided to hop on this Zoom. And I'm telling you, it's for a reason. Okay. It's because you just needed that reminder, like, hey, I just want you to know that you're freaking enough. Okay. Can we just say that right now? Like, just say it to yourself. I'm gonna do some hooba booba stuff. Okay. So bear with me. Just say that, whether you just say it to yourself, like just say out loud, like, I am enough. I am enough. Okay. You are freaking enough. And I don't care who has ever made you feel like you're not enough in this world. Bye-bye. Okay. You are enough here. Okay. That's how I feel about that. So I just really liked that quote. And then the last thing I liked was it said, let go of perfectionism and surrender to the flawed human messiness and do the thing that your heart and your soul desperately wants to do. Okay, just let go of that perfectionism, be you, be who you are, and make that a part of you. And yes, obviously, like talking about your business and all of those things, but I'm telling you, people will be wanting to join you and your team and be your customer because they connect to you as a human, and they connect to you and your story and what what you have what you have to offer in your personality and those things. So, oh, I love seeing all the like I am enoughs on the chat too. So thank you guys so much for taking time on a Wednesday night to just be poured into. Seriously, like just give yourself a pat on the back, because that's huge. Like that's just another step in growth. It's another step for this business. And just your mindset. And I truly, truly just hope that it helps someone tonight that things that Christina said, because she's amazing. We know she is, she's wonderful. And things that maybe I said that made it kind of click for you and go, okay, like I got this, I can do this. So have a beautiful day, night, day, whatever time zone it is. And thank you guys for hopping on, and we will talk to you next time.